Hey, girl, hey.
Hello.
Ooh, hello.
You know, my TikTok's full of those things that's like, there's always that one friend that like turns every song or every phrase into a song. And I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
glad that
you
it's
were
a
doing it a lot in
personality
there.
trait.
You were just talking, and every time I was like, you're like, whatever. Today's a good day. I'm like,
Yeah. Today was a good, exactly. I think it's just us together. I mean, we should know that by now.
That's true.
Having the podcast and play it back in our ears all the time. Of like,
We do that a lot.
there was a solid stretch where that's all we did.
What?
Like just interrupt each other with personal inside jokes.
yeah.
You know, like, oh, okay, Susan. You don't know which one I was going to do.
I was like, O'Reilly.
You didn't know. You didn't know which one I was going to do.
Auto parts.
Wow! Sorry if I just blew out anybody's eardrums.
Oh, man.
God damn!
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah?
How's it going for you?
Oh, it's okay now. It wasn't great. You want to hear my goddamn?
Yeah, I do.
Got a migraine. Not just any
Oh,
migraine.
Yeah.
Not just any migraine.
No. What kind of migraine? There's different kinds of migraines?
It was a secret one. Well, apparently, I had no idea. So, I got the migraine. I got the normal thing where, like, my vision was all scrambled. I can't see shit. I felt really nauseous. I was laying in bed, and I was
Category
dying.
5 migraine?
Fucking DEFCON 1. Like, shit was bad.
Which one's worse?
Oh, I don't know. Hurricane or nuclear
Liar. There you go.
fallout. Had to be so careful with you, certain words. Anyway, so it just depends on what you're talking about. But for migraines, both of them are terrible.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed dying, regular migraine, whatever. I got through it, pulled through, woo,
Yay.
worked through it because I'm an idiot. And I
Yeah.
never take time off. Like, I'll do the time when I can't see, and when I'm feeling nauseous.
Oh, when I physically cannot work.
Honestly, it takes like physically cannot work. And then the moment that I can see again, if I just have like a raging headache, I'll put my screen brightness on like the lowest it will ever go. I make everything around me dark and then I just keep going. And then like I avoid any excels with like bright highlights.
Oh, God.
And if they pop up, I cuss a lot. Like, fuck you, who did that bullshit trap? Bleh. Whatever, right? Okay, so I did that. And then the next morning, everything's fine. You get like a migraine hangover for 24 hours or something. It literally just feels like a hangover. Like you're tired. You want like greasy foods. I can't explain it.
Weird.
Like salty. I don't know. I have no idea. But you just feel like shit, right?
Yeah.
And super tired. So I was dealing with that. And then the next morning, I woke up and all I didn't even open my eyes yet. I just moved my neck a little bit and this pain just shot all the way up my neck, over my head, like wrapped around my eyeballs, into my teeth and my nose. And
Oh, no.
migraine, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, holy fuck. And I tried to open my eyes and it was so bright. There was nothing bright. It was just so bright. Like the day was too bright. And instantly I was like, I'm going to fucking throw up. Like I felt so nauseous. Girl, I was literally like, what does that sound? Is there a fucking generator?
I think one of your neighbors might be weed whacking.
Ah, what the fuck? Oh, God damn it. I bet it's across the street. Those motherfuckers will leaf blow for hours.
They were out there, too. Like,
Oh my God.
I heard them outside. They were fucking gearing up to do something.
Okay, well, I would like to formally apologize if you guys hear leaf blowing because my neighbors literally, they go on this like, it's like once a week, fucking all day. I'm like, what
Why?
are you
What are
blowing?
they blowing?
Fucking leaves, I guess. I think they
They don't even
own-
have that many leaves. They have fucking palm trees.
I have no idea.
Those don't let down leaves for anyone who's wondering.
I swear, I think they own like a gardening, whatever, like
Yeah.
landscaping business, and they must just like run them weekly or some shit to make sure all the oil is fucking through the lines. It will be hours. I guarantee you this entire time we record, that's just going to be playing in the background.
Listen. I think it stopped.
I can still hear it.
Can you?
100%.
Okay.
All fucking day. Anyway, sorry guys. Okay, so back to this migraine. I was like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. I was not okay. I was literally like crawling in circles around on the bed. Like, make it stop.
Oh, God. What?
got up.
What are you, a dog?
I don't know. Like I was like, leave my body. Like, how do I
Yeah.
die? I'd like to die now.
Oh, no.
I got up and I laid on the floor. Lee was just like watching me. I got up and I laid on the floor in a ball and I was like, make it stop. Like I just wanted my head off of my body. I've never felt this terrible before.
Oh, my God.
And then I was like, can you get me a bag? I'm going to vomit. And he did. And he came and he set it next to me. And I was like, nope. And I had enough time to run to the bathroom and I vomited. And I threw up twice, which I don't know if you know about throwing up with headaches, but holy fucking shit, it makes your headache way worse when
I
you're like,
bet.
"Ugh," you know?
Yeah. All that pressure goes up to it.
Oh my God, I thought I was going to die. I literally was laying on the bathroom floor debating, like, do I tell Lee to take me to the ER? But then I was like, the last thing I want to do is get in a fucking car right now. Like, I don't even want to move. I
Yeah.
just want to lay on this floor. Anyway,
Especially
I
outside in the sun.
survived. It was just a migraine. But
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
That sounds awful.
I never want that to happen again. And it was just like I feel like all of my life should be a wake-up call that I need to take better care of myself.
Yeah.
But especially in that moment, I was like, I'm too stressed.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. I don't want to die here like this.
No.
Yeah.
Like, at least it wasn't life-threatening. I don't know. Maybe I have a fucking tumor.
I mean, maybe it is, though. I feel like your brain, that's your brain.
But nobody cares. You go to the
whatever.
doctor, nobody cares. They're like, oh, do yoga. Don't be stressed.
Okay.
Breathe. And you're like, okay. And then they're like, also, here's this medicine. But I don't like the medicine. I'd
Why?
rather have the migraine.
What?
Not that migraine. I should have taken medicine for that one. Whew, but I couldn't swallow anything. I was ready to yak. But like the normal migraine, I don't like that medicine. It makes my arms feel like dead. Like, have you ever, when you were little and you punch people in the arms and you get a dead arm?
Yeah.
It makes your whole body feel like that. And you just don't feel right.
That sounds kind of okay.
No, it's weird. I don't like it. It's like, ugh.
Can I take one? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can. But I literally would rather have the migraine than that. And
That's
Lee's
so
like,
weird.
you should go to your doctor and tell him you don't like that one so they can give you a different one. I'm like, or I'm just not going to be stressed. So,
yeah,
new year, new me.
Good luck with that. I hope that works for you.
But I really think I have a tumor.
I think you might too. Or
Nobody
something.
cares. Nobody's going to check.
I care.
Nobody's going to check.
If I had the means to check, I would check.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Crack that bitch open.
Put
check
it back
in
together.
There, Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my goddamn is like yesterday it was? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. I was dying.
You almost died. Oh
I feel better today, though.
That's good.
I'm actually feeling great today, but I think it's because I slept 12 hours. My Fitbit said yesterday I slept for 12 hours.
Oh my God, that sounds so nice.
It was, but it sucks when it's like the kind that you wake up covered in sweat and you're confused as to why it's already 3 o'clock.
What day it is.
When you went to bed at like 7:45 in the morning.
Where am I?
Yeah, I was so confused.
I need to get to gym class.
I was so confused. And like, like I want to brush my teeth.
Yeah. Oh man, I did that the other night or the other day because I was fucking sick.
Is that your goddamn?
No. I have a better one.
Oh no.
My goddamn is the other night we were eating our dinner and I had some chicken and rice and broccoli and the children had theirs and Brandon had his. And then I was eating it and I had eaten a couple pieces of broccoli and whatever, everything. And then I looked at my broccoli and I was like, why is there brown stuff in it?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Was it bad?
Why is there brown stuff in it?
Why was there brown stuff in it, Erin?
Why was there brown? And so I showed Brandon, like,
what's that brown stuff?
What's that brown stuff there? Like, did you wash the broccoli or
was it rotten or was it a worm?
Was it rotten or was it a worm? Is that mold or is it dirt? Like, is it just dirt? It's probably fine.
Is it crunchy?
I just put it onto my plate. Like, I just won't eat that piece. And then just, like, put that one over there. But the rest of the broccoli is fine. If it's just dirt or something.
You should double check it.
I'm not an
what
idiot.
if it's not dirt?
Well, then.
Oh, God.
My sweet little fucking boy.
No.
On the other side over here. Just nonchalantly goes, Mom, there's a bug in my broccoli. I had just taken a bite of broccoli because I was like, oh, it's just that broccoli. All the rest of the broccoli's fine. And I looked at the broccoli and I was like, this one doesn't have any brown stuff on it. It's fine. So I popped it in my mouth.
God.
I fucking love broccoli. We love broccoli in this house. And then kid was like, hey, Mom, there's a bug in my broccroccoli. And I was like, but? Like, no.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh,
no.
God.
No.
Oh, my God.
I spit it all out onto my plate, obviously.
Was Brandon like, what the fuck?
No. Brandon's reaction was possibly worse. He said, and he just kept repeating, I ate all my broccoli.
Yeah, sucks for you, bro.
Yeah, you probably ate some fucking bugs, bro. So then I got up and I went over to my kid's plate and I was like, where is it? And he's like, it crawled like into the broccoli. And I was like, well, was it big? Was it small? Like, was it brown? Was it flying?
Was it a worm?
Did it have a shell? Like, what kind of bug are we
exoskeleton?
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't fucking look that close at it.
I don't know. Fucking a bug, Mom.
It was just a bug and it went into the broccoli. And so then I'm like digging through his broccoli trying to figure out what this bug is. And then I was like, no, I don't actually want to know.
Yeah, we're just going to call it a day on the broccoli.
Yeah, I don't need that in my fucking brain. So then I scooped all of his broccoli out onto the table and was just like, just don't touch that.
I like how that was your solution. Like, not even a napkin. Just fucking plop that shit. No. Where's the dog?
Right onto the table. Like, off your plate, onto the table. Don't fucking eat that. That's table broccoli now.
Yeah, leave that one alone. I'll wipe it up later.
I'll deal with that in a minute. Yeah. And then, meanwhile, Brandon's, I ate all my broccoli. Well, I ate all my broccoli. Okay, do you want to eat this one, you fucking
Yeah, you want some table broccoli, bro?
So I almost ate bug poop broccoli. I probably ate bug poop for sure.
Oh, God.
And maybe broccoli bugs. I don't know. I don't know what kind of bugs live in broccoli, and I really don't want to know.
Yeah. One time I was talking about like, oh, I learned something about broccoli, and I thought it was you. But
Probably.
somebody interrupted me right after I said that. And they were like, yeah, the worms. And I was like, hold the fuck up. I need to learn something more about broccoli. And
I don't know enough about broccoli.
They didn't finish it. I was just like, ew, that's gross. And like kept talking. And then I went and Googled it later and I don't remember my results. So that's why I kept saying, was it a worm?
I don't know. I don't know. He said it crawled. I feel like he knows what a worm is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like
he would say
6
worm.
now.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about murder?
Yeah.
Were you done? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, that was it.
It looked like you were about to say something, so I'll about it.
No.
All right. This week, I'm going to tell you about Suzanne Morphew.
Okay.
Now, disclaimer, I got all of this from a 48 Hours episode, so if you watched it, then you know the story.
Then follow along.
Follow along. But
what's her last name? Morpheus?
Morphew.
Okay.
Morpheus? What pill did she take? Okay. Suzanne Morphew grew up in a small town called Alexandria, which is in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where she met her high school sweetheart, a boy by the name of Barry Morphew.
Okay.
So
Barry
and Suzanne.
Barry and Suzanne.
Suzanne competed for homecoming queen in high school.
No
just
big
to kind
deal.
of paint the picture of the type of people these people were.
Yeah, a little popular, pretty girl.
Precisely. And then Barry was a star baseball player.
No big deal.
And he was actually drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays in
okay.
high school. Yeah, real big deal.
Yeah.
So they're like the all-American dream couple.
Yeah.
Like we all are, what you see in the fucking movies, that was their real life.
Yeah, they had a Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm. It's not real. Most of us were nerds. Hanging out on the side of the quad at lunchtime.
I mean, to be fair, I married my high school sweetheart.
Yeah, but he also wasn't a pro, like, star player of anything. Homie
And
was, like,
I was
selling
not
drugs
the
on the corner.
homecoming queen.
Yeah, selling drugs on the corner, fucking robbing Walmarts.
He wasn't robbing them.
Don't try to clear his name now. It's been years.
But he is still banned for life.
See? Yeah, it's not real, guys. Okay, but it was for Suzanne and Barry.
Okay, yeah.
So they both attended Purdue University.
Whoa, okay. Going to Purdue.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And then in 1994, they got married.
Okay.
Barry ran his own landscaping business, and Suzanne ended up teaching middle school.
What happened to the Toronto Blue Jays?
Didn't work out.
Fucking dropped him.
Got fucking benched. I don't know. But it didn't work out. So he was like, you know what else I'm really good at? Landscaping.
All right.
And he
Touché.
made a lot of fucking money, it seems like, from it because their house was gorgeous.
Yeah. Good for him.
I know, right? Suzanne taught middle school until her 2 daughters were born, and then she quit so that she could be a full-time mom.
Yeah.
In 2020, her oldest daughter was in college, and the second one was still at home in high school.
2020. This is recent.
2020. Yep. Painting the picture here, okay?
All right.
So she's got one in high school, one in college. The oldest daughter in college, she moved from Indiana to Colorado to go to college, and the whole family decided that they were going to move with her because they didn't want to be away from her.
Oh my God,
how
that's so fucking
sweet
cute.
Is that? I know. So they all moved to Salida, Colorado, so that they can all be close together and she can attend college.
That is so weird.
I wish, man. I wish I had that tight-knit of a fucking family. My parents would have been like, deuces, bro.
Mine too.
Come visit.
They're like, we moved away from our parents. It's time you fly the nest.
I know, but I have this sick, weird thing where it's like, now I can't move away from my mom.
Yeah.
Even though San Diego has insane prices, and I would love to go live on the swamps of Louisiana somewhere.
Okay, well, let's fucking go, because you are literally the only reason that I'm staying in San Diego.
I know. Well, Lee is the only reason I'm staying in San Diego now, too.
Well,
although
fuck
my
that
mom
guy.
kind of got me tied down, but also I could pull it.
You could fucking visit her. You know? I'll take the trip with you.
Yeah, I know, but we got to get Lee on board. Somebody show us how to eat gator meat.
I know how to eat it.
We'll make it. Cook
I don't know
it.
how to
Can I make
cook
it like
it.
monkey on a stick? Gator on a stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gator in a swamp. Put that bitch in sauce.
Ew.
No?
I don't like the word swamp when you're referring to my food.
I'm just trying to
Reminds
think
me
where
of
gators
swamp
live.
ass, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. Okay, so
Anyway, their family cared.
their
Got it.
family cared and they moved with their oldest daughter. So now they're in Colorado. When Suzanne moved to Colorado, she decided to take up mountain biking, and she was very active and physically fit.
Nice.
Hell
Good for
yeah.
her.
Hell yeah. And
Fucking new lease on life.
they lived in a beautiful, I don't think there's ever a non-beautiful part of Colorado,
Yeah,
except for
right.
maybe Denver. But And that's just the inside of the
Got
city.
'em.
You know, like it's ghetto. But everywhere else is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they lived in a gorgeous area. Like they were showing obviously footage of like the trail and shit that she would ride and stuff. And it was just like, oh my God, I would love to be in nature. It's a great place to go take up mountain biking.
Yeah.
In actual mountains. These other fuckers are just faking it. You know?
I got a mountain.
You do have a mountain.
I could mountain bike on it if I had the will.
Had a bike.
And the skill.
Had a mountain bike with fucking gears and shit.
My neighbor does. He's invited Brandon out.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's something. Barry was described as a man's man, and he was very, obviously an avid businessman.
Yes.
With his landscaping business, was doing very well. And also, he was a big hunter. Like, his garage was full of deer heads and antlers and shit like that. Like,
Okay.
big hunter. Lots of guns and shit.
Okay.
So let's jump into it. So now it's May 9th, 2020, and this is the day before Mother's Day.
Okay.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Suzanne's 2 daughters were actually out camping, and Barry and Suzanne, they end up having a nice dinner together the night before Mother's Day. They have a nice dinner, they bone, and then they go to
Nice.
sleep. And they go to sleep kind of early because Barry had to wake up early the next day to go to a job site that was like 3 hours away.
Ugh.
So they go to bed at like 8 o'clock or something. Barry says that when he woke up the next morning on Mother's Day, it was like 5 a.m. and Suzanne was still asleep. He got ready for work and then he drove to the job site about 3 hours away.
Okay.
Barry says that he texts Suzanne to wish her a happy Mother's Day, but she never replies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He eventually reached out to his kids who were camping to see if they had heard from their mom at all because it's Mother's Day, right? Like, did you text your mom Happy Mother's Day? Did she reply? What's going on kind of thing?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we actually haven't heard from her. So he decides to call the neighbors to check on her because he's starting to get worried now. Like, dude, I can't get a hold of her.
Yeah.
The neighbor goes over to Suzanne's house and pokes around and says, like, hey, her car's in the driveway, but she's not answering the door. Like, she's not home. And so Barry says, well, why don't you go look for her bike? She likes to mountain bike a lot. Maybe she's out on a ride or maybe something's going on. So they look and they can't find her bike. So Barry's like, for sure she's on a ride. It's kind of weird she's not answering. I'm a little kind of worried, and asks the neighbor, hey, can you call 911?
Yeah.
So the neighbor does. So the police come. Now, mind you, Barry's still 3 hours away, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take him some time to get there. But the police come, they start looking around, and they find her bike, but her bike is on the side of the trail, like down a ravine. And not just like a ravine, but like a fucking ravine. Like if you fell down there,
Like,
I'd be
that's
nervous
bad news.
to walk on the edge of this road. Yeah, it'd be bad news. Like
Yeah.
you'd live, but you'd be like, ow.
How the fuck do I get back up there?
How the fuck do I get back up? And also, did I break something? Is what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. And my
Yeah.
bike has got to be totaled. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never fallen down a ravine, but according to the 48 hours footage I saw, it looked like, whoo, like goddamn,
Ugh.
something bad happened here, right?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's really scary.
I know.
Also, good on Barry for being like, hey, can you call 911 though?
Yeah, like I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
This is not like her.
Yeah.
So they look all over for Suzanne and they can't find her. The police are searching like all of the trails, everything. Barry actually shows up like to where the bike was last seen and everything, and he was super distraught and everything like that. But they can't find her. They're like, if she fell down, she'd be close by. She can't get that far.
Yeah.
They even pull out, and this is like days, okay? So like that night they can't find her, and they're continuing to look for her. And they brought out boats and shit to look in the local waters to see if maybe she had like fallen into the water somehow at the end of the ravine. They're not finding her. She's not coming up in any of the waters or anything. They initially thought that maybe Suzanne had been kidnapped
Yeah.
or something. Like she got taken off the road and then they just fucking chucked her bike down the ravine.
Yeah.
Since she was new to mountain biking also, they considered it could have been an accident because she was new to the area and everything like that. But again, she would be close by or something.
Yeah.
Right? What's interesting is days later, her helmet turns up, but it's like in the opposite direction of where her bike was found. And it was on the side of Highway 50, which was, like I said, like a mile away from where the bike was.
A mile?
Like a mile away from where the bike was, and it looked like it was just chucked out the window as somebody was driving.
Uh-oh.
So now they're like, uh-oh, we think she got.
Yeah.
She got kidnapped or something. They had Barry record a public plea to see if maybe his plea will reach the abductor or kidnapper or whatever, which I don't understand. Okay, listen, when they do this, I get that they usually do it for kids and stuff, and like the moms are on there and they're crying and they're like, if anybody knows anything, please come forward. I understand that. But when it's like a plea to the kidnapper, Why do we still do that? Like, is the kidnapper really going to be like, ring, 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 bitch, I got her. Can I have that ransom money? Like, you would have done that before. We got, like, fucking yellow pages.
Yeah, like, everybody knows where he was.
Right?
Or he has the lady, so then they'd be like, hey, what's your home phone number?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to see how much money I can get for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little cynical. But anyway, so they have Barry do a public plea.
It is strange. Like, I wonder if that actually has ever worked.
Honestly, I mean, maybe back in the fucking 70s, and then you get all the, like, prank phone calls and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe we should look up a case where that actually worked, and we should cover that one.
Oh, there you go.
It's like a fun little thing.
I know that it's supposed to be, like, a plea to their humanity, too.
Yeah,
like,
but come on.
But that was from, like, Silence of the Lambs, right?
Right.
Like, when
like,
that came out. And they're like, let Jessica go home.
Bring her back home.
If I keep saying her name,
she'll come back.
Then he'll see her as a person instead of a
I don't
whatever.
think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm kind of cynical.
I don't know that that's ever worked because I feel like someone who's willing to take a person isn't going to be like, my fucking bad.
Oh, shit. You care about her?
Oh my God, I didn't know you had like a family.
I didn't know you were attached. Fuck. I thought you were just a stray.
I was looking for, stray women.
Feed you. I don't fucking know. If that's my loved one that went missing, the last thing I want you to do is record me while I'm sobbing, asking for you to bring her home.
Yeah,
like,
right.
How about a vulnerable moment not be recorded?
Yeah, that's not what we do these days.
I don't know, though, but I guess I could see, like, it feels like you're helping.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's probably better than nothing. And it puts it in the public eye, too. Hey, put it out there.
Yeah, but you know what else works?
Missing.
Have fucking Deputy Diddly-Do over there do that shit, and I'll sit in the background just like, yep.
I would like her home, too.
Me, too. I second everything Diddly-Do says.
Second everything Diddly-Do says. Haven't had dinner in weeks.
I'm hungry.
Days. I don't know how long it's been now.
It will go on for weeks. Okay. Now, this obviously makes news all over Colorado, like you were saying. It's a good way to, like, drum up some attention.
Yeah.
And a local YouTuber calls up Barry and says, like, hey, can I do an interview with you? And Barry was willing to talk to anybody with a microphone or a badge. And he was like, fuck yeah, ring it up. And during this interview, I guess the YouTuber, like, recorded him talking without him knowing.
Okay.
And he said that one of the theories at the time was that the police had seen a mountain lion when they came that night to go looking for her.
Yeah.
And that they had suspected that perhaps she was attacked by a mountain lion.
Okay.
But again, there was like no blood or struggle or anything to show. Like you'd think there'd be like a fucking strap of clothing or like a drag marks and blood.
Or something. A sign of a struggle.
Like she's not just going to be like, oh, it got me. And like let him drag her away without.
By the helmet.
Yeah.
So there's no blood.
Stop it. I'll eat you in my den.
Yeah. But yeah, that's strange.
Super strange. And the YouTuber thought it was strange too. Like, why? This doesn't even make sense. It's kind of weird that you said that. That's what he told him. I was like, okay, that's one of the theories. Police started to suspect that Suzanne never even took that mountain bike trip after a while because they found her sunglasses and her Camelback in her car, which were typically something she would bring on a mountain bike ride.
Okay.
Right. So they also find her driver's license and other things in her Range Rover. I don't know why it was in her car.
Yeah.
But they
also,
find
Range Rover, no big deal.
No big deal. I'm telling you, these bitches were rich, man.
Apparently.
Like, their fucking house was nice. It was like one of those big-ass Colorado peaked roofs with the big windows at the front, you know?
Ooh, baby.
Nice house. So they start to notice, like, okay, all of the typical things she would take on a bike ride isn't there.
This is suspicious.
She's not evident anywhere at any of the scenes where any of her bike shit was seen. So obviously somebody could have put them there very easily. There's no evidence to suggest she was there. And also her cell phone was missing. Nothing else, but her cell phone was.
Well, she was missing and her clothes were missing. Like
on her body?
Yeah, wouldn't her cell phone have been on her person?
Could have been. Could have been, but then don't you think they would, like, chuck it or something if she got kidnapped? Yeah,
or just destroy it.
Yeah, so they're thinking, like, we don't have a lot of evidence to support that she actually went on this ride.
Okay, that's a twist.
It's just a theory, right?
Yeah.
We're just theorizing. Now, 10 days go by, and the police are still trying to figure out where Suzanne went, and they get warrants to search her home. And so they do.
Yeah.
And they discover in her master bedroom.
Ew. What do they find?
It's really hard for me to tell you this with a straight face.
What?
They find a fucking spy pen.
A what? A spy pen? Like in Spy Kids?
Yeah, like a spy pen. Like it records conversations.
What the fuck?
Without people knowing she had a spy pen.
She had a spy pen?
It was like in her bedside drawer.
They had a spy pen.
And then the spy pen. I don't know if the brr, brr was really there, you know?
It was.
Probably. But like the
It was
spy
in
pen.
the bottom drawer.
Spy pen totally was there. They found a fucking spy pen.
Well, these people do seem like people that would shop on Sky Mall. And I think that's
That
the
is
only place
something-
that you can get
That
those.
is something you can only get on. I guess Amazon now you probably could.
Yeah, now.
But like
now.
back in the 2020s, you probably still could Amazon. I don't really know. But
Maybe.
Sky Mall, great
But-
reference. But that's where he got half the fucking deer in his garage.
Yeah,
Or
right?
antlers.
I feel like if it's for the person who has everything, they shop at Sky Mall. And that's definitely one of the things that is
She's
on
like, I need
Sky
that spy
Mall.
pen. I need
Yeah.
that spy pen.
Yeah.
Okay, well, get this. It
Okay.
turns out.
What was recorded on it?
Oh, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, my God.
It turns out that Suzanne was given this pen in hopes. I don't know who gave it to her,
Okay.
but it was a gift in hopes of catching Barry in an affair.
What?
So she was like rigging up the room, hoping he's going to bring back a piece of ass or some shit, and she's going to catch it on this pen?
What?
What? Well, it turns out that on this pen, before I say
Don't
that,
you have to be like holding it?
I don't fucking know.
Like you have to be clicking
talking
it?
to my pen.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me being a spy or anything, but can I put this pen up your nose so I can hear every word you say?
I thought you had to
I don't know.
click it on. How many hours could a pen possibly hold?
I have no idea.
Like
Well,
you can't
kinda
just let it go all day.
Kind of looked like it had like a USB thing. So maybe you pop it out and download it and then put it back in. And I don't fucking know. I've
I'm
never
gonna-
owned a spy pen.
I'm gonna have to research some spy
You
pens.
have to check out all your pens, see if there's any spy pens.
I know, right? What if
Oh
someone
my
put that
God.
in my fucking office pen
Who
cup?
cares? You know, like if you catch me saying something and you're like, did you say that? And I say no, and then you play it back to me, I'm like, oh, I guess I did.
Oh, that. Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it? You could
Or are we
just-
done here?
So it turns out that there were troubles in their marriage.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Evidently, if
Yeah.
somebody's gifting her a fucking spy pen to catch
But
him.
also, didn't they just move to Colorado?
Yeah, pretty recently.
Like, did he find a fucking side piece out there?
I don't know. Well, maybe.
Or
he's
is that
just
why
like,
she was so willing to move? Like, you know what? Fuck this place. Let's move to
and
Colorado.
maybe that spy pen was from back in Indiana?
Yeah.
Gary, Indiana. You're welcome. So, captured on this spy pen is a conversation
Yes.
between Suzanne and some man named Jeff.
Okay.
It was
Who's Jeff?
and Jeff was clearly her lover.
Uh-oh.
She caught herself on the spy pen. Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh.
That's a fucking twist.
She caught herself on the spy pen talking to Jeff, her lover.
Did Barry know about the spy pen?
Barry didn't know about the spy pen. Barry was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck's Jeff? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So according to Suzanne's sister, 2 days before she disappeared, Suzanne had sent a text to her sister. And it was a long text. And it was very revealing, talking about how the states of her marriage is not good and that Barry is emotionally and physically abusive towards her. Like it paints
Physically?
it paints a picture like shit is not well.
Uh-oh.
Shit is not great. So, like, clearly Suzanne in this message was like over her marriage, over Barry, was not having it. 2 days before she goes missing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
That's not good.
that's not good. And then now we're finding out, girl was having a side piece named Jeff.
Oh, no.
And now she's missing. So, her sister explains that Suzanne was a very passive and kind soul and that Barry was very aggressive and intimidating and he used it often to get what he wanted. Like, her sister is like, I hate Barry. I do not like Barry. I for sure think Barry did something.
Oh,
That's-
my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then police obviously interview like Barry's employees and shit to ask like what kind of person he is and everything. And they all describe him as like a real cool guy. He's a very stern boss, like a kind of a hard boss or whatever, but that he was always like really not like good. Like even though he was stern and hard, it was for good reasons.
Yeah.
And that they all respected him and that they experienced him and Suzanne together often. And Suzanne was like Hallmark sweetheart, like the sweetest lady you would ever meet. And
Aw.
that you can't imagine anybody wanting to harm her and that Barry and her always got along and spoke sweetly to each other. Like it was not, they had
Not a bad
no
word to say.
idea.
Yeah.
They had no idea. So they were like really shocked that they were even being interviewed, right?
Yeah.
Suzanne hid this affair so well, this Jeff affair so well, that it took the police 6 months to actually find out who this guy was. 6 fucking months.
Holy shit.
They're like, who the fuck's Jeff?
Well, they
When-
don't have her phone.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
true.
still have her phone records.
Yeah, like all her social media and shit. They probably had to like guess her fucking password.
But even her phone records.
I don't
Like,
know.
be like, oh, you text this random number 800 times.
I don't know why it took so long, but it took 6 months.
That's weird.
When they finally find him, they discover that Jeff had a wife and 6 children.
6?
6.
Jesus fuck.
And he lived in fucking Michigan.
What?
So, allegedly, he and Suzanne had gone to high school together.
Okay.
And at one time, they had a fling.
Okay.
In high school, they like hooked up or whatever.
She was with Barry in high school.
And then, maybe this was pre-Barry. And then in 2018, Suzanne actually messaged him on Facebook and she said something like, "What's up?" or something like that. And from that day on, hey girl,
with 2 Y's.
Hey Jeff. So from that point on in 2018, they talked every day.
What?
2018 to 2020.
Oh my God.
She hid this affair.
Oh my God.
After Suzanne went missing, Jeff kept quiet and only talked to investigators after they had located him.
That's not suspicious.
That's kind of suspicious. Like, why didn't you want to come forward? I get it.
Well, because, yeah, he's got his own life that he's like, I hope she fucking hid this affair well.
Right? So Jeff had actually deleted all of his social media.
What?
Yeah.
Fucking suspicious, dude.
Super suspicious. He says that he was afraid that he would lose his family and his job and everything.
Would.
And also he's like, I don't want to tarnish like Suzanne's reputation and come out and be like, hey, we were having an affair. Like, she's the sweetest lady, a Hallmark lady.
Yeah, especially if he's not the one that killed her.
Yeah, and she's missing.
Yeah.
So like,
like, oh, she was also a hussy.
Yeah, like this is all so public.
Yeah, you can't do. I get where he's coming from,
right?
And not
like,
wanting to come forward.
You should still go to the cops.
But like maybe secretly.
Yeah, like be like, hey, can we keep this on the DL?
Hey, so like, don't tell my wife
Right,
or Barry
right.
because I really don't want to get my ass kicked. But
this had happened.
Yeah,
can we keep this one under lock?
Yeah,
but you can check me out.
When you see my name pop up later, just know I was in fucking Michigan.
Yeah, let me help fill in some of the blanks.
Yeah,
exactly. No, he didn't do that. He waited for them to come to him, and then he was like, yeah, about that.
I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah, so he was also worried that he was a suspect, so he didn't want to, like, insert his name anywhere.
Of course he's a suspect.
Yeah, I know. That's why you go clear it.
Yeah, that's why you're like, what day? Yes, here are my timestamps at work in Michigan.
Maybe I should get a lawyer, like, just in case.
Yeah, but you can't get a lawyer without your wife finding out. And then your wife would be like, why are you attaining a lawyer?
That's true. And then you go, oh, this girl in high school I once knew.
She went missing. No reason for me to worry now.
I'm going to go ahead and insert myself real quick.
Just in case.
Yeah. Just in case my name pops up from when we were in high school together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I might have messaged her once or twice on Facebook.
Could you imagine that conversation, though? Like, so, babe, sit down. We need to talk. There's this girl.
I told you that girl that I dated in high school was missing? Because they talked about it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think so?
Yeah, because he's probably grieving, too.
Oh.
And so she's like, what the fuck is wrong? And he's like, I don't know.
I'm just really feeling a certain kind of way about this old girlfriend.
This happened. And it's so long ago, but it just hits so close to home
That's
still.
a tough convo.
And you hope your current wife will fucking console you from the missingness of your affair partner. Yeah.
Oh my God, dirty. After he was found, he cooperated totally, and he gave his DNA and his passwords for all his accounts and everything. He explained everything that he did.
Yeah.
After combing through all of their correspondence together, it was discovered that not only did the pair talk daily, they also met up in person on several occasions.
What?
Suzanne would take vacations. I don't know if she was taking vacations alone or something, but she would take vacations and meet up with Jeff in like Florida, Alabama, shit like that.
What?
Yeah. What if they would go on family vacations and then meet up? I don't know that part. That's speculation.
Like, we're both gonna fucking vacation at Orlando.
Yeah, that's some shady shit.
Okay.
But she would go on vacations for one reason or another, and Jeff would go also, and that's when they were having like their little rendezvous.
When did she move to Colorado?
I think it was 2020, sometime in there.
Okay.
Like, they hadn't lived there long.
Okay. Wow.
And they first started talking in 2018.
Yeah.
So over the span of 2 years.
Yeah.
They were meeting, sneaking and geeking.
Oh my God.
They even exchanged intimate photos of each other, and they talked about running away to Ecuador together.
Ecuador.
And like starting a life.
Never considered that one.
It must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll look it up.
On the day before Suzanne went missing, Jeff and Suzanne communicated 59 times that day, which was a lot for them, even for them.
And that's the day that she boned her husband.
Yeah, before bed.
Yeah, had a nice little
dinner.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I guess this was more than usual. And at one point, Suzanne sends Jeff a selfie, which becomes the last proof of life that we actually have of her. It was a very nice picture. She's very beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Their text messages start to heat up at 2:05 p.m. And she says...
On the day before Mother's Day.
Day before Mother's Day.
Okay.
The day before, when they're having...
Their nice day.
When Barry says, we had dinner together, and then we boned and went to sleep at 8. Okay? At 2:05 that day, Suzanne sends Jeff a message that says, quote, I'm just so in love with you. What are you up to?
Jesus.
Yeah. Jeff replies, quote, want to strip down and get naked? LOL.
Ew. First of all, you just ruined the mood.
No, I don't. No, Suzanne was all for it. She was like, let me go load up my WhatsApp account.
What?
I don't know. I guess you have to load that up. I don't know if that means like turn it on or like do you have to put money on it?
She might have to re-download it because her husband would be like, why do you have WhatsApp downloaded?
Maybe. Oh my God, that's so much work.
Yeah.
Good God. Okay. So then her next message is, okay, I'm on WA, like WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
Then at 2:26 p.m., so like 20 minutes later, Suzanne gets a text from Barry saying that he's done and he's heading back home.
Uh-huh.
Suzanne never answers that text, so we don't know if she got it or not. Then there's a follow-up text from Barry that said, did you leave? Like wondering where she is. Now, he's not home yet, so I'm guessing he's like, did you go on a ride or something like that?
Okay.
Still, Suzanne never responds. And then based on Barry's phone records, like, you know how it like tracks where you're going and shit?
Yeah.
This is when he gets home. So he's home at like 2:30.
Yeah. And he texts her, did you leave? Probably 'cause she's not there. He's like, where the fuck are you? Did you leave?
Yeah. Or like she's, I don't know. For some reason he says, did you leave? He rolls up at like 2:30. And then his phone shows him, or his phone, pinging all around the outside of the house. Which is like kind of weird.
Maybe looking for her.
Right.
Checking for her bike.
Sure. So the police are like, that's kind of strange. Like, you didn't mention running around the house all over, like running all over the house. What was that activity for? Like, what was that part of your night?
Yeah.
And he said, let me think about that.
Okay.
And then he thinks about it. And then he says, oh, I was probably shooting chipmunks outside of my house. We have a real bad chipmunk problem, and I shoot at them all the time. So I was probably just shooting the chipmunks.
I feel like that's something you would remember doing or not doing.
And you would mention, especially if your wife was missing, like, yeah.
And
I was
also I had a gun.
If you see bullets everywhere, that's why. You know? Like, I didn't shoot her.
It's very low caliber, but...
Yeah, that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
And he said they're a constant nuisance, whatever. I shoot them all the time.
Constant nuisance.
But what's interesting...
Chipmunks are so fucking cute,
I don't
bro.
even know. Do they live in the ground? I feel like they live in a tree, but I don't know why I feel like
they
that.
live in trees. That's where Alvin and the chipmunks lived.
I get all of my chipmunk knowledge from that cartoon, honestly.
The only time I've seen a chipmunk is on the East Coast, and they eat berries.
They're
from
small,
your hand.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like that big.
Yeah, they're like
so
a hamster.
Fucking cute. Yeah.
How could you imagine shooting a hamster with a gun? That sounds hard. You must be a really good hunter.
You gotta be real good.
He's probably really good.
Bow hunting fucking chipmunks.
Oh my God, what a waste. How unnecessary.
You could probably just rank it back.
You could just
in
reuse it
Yeah.
and like stack them up like a shish kebab. Okay, so
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know this got off the rails a long time ago. But what's interesting is there was zero evidence of any type of chipmunk shooting or activity or anything like that.
Yeah, like where the body's in the trash can.
Yeah, well, there wasn't like an infestation or anything that they could tell, and there weren't bullets all over from shooting chipmunks. Like, he lied.
There wasn't an infestation. He was just like, what is a nuisance animal? What is a nuisance animal? Do they have chipmunks in Colorado?
They must. I feel like we saw a chipmunk in Arizona. I don't know why that was gonna, when we were at the Grand Canyon.
I was like, okay. We definitely did not. Well, we might have seen a chipmunk in Grand Canyon.
Yeah, wasn't there like a little something eating on the edge?
Squirrel.
I don't know. It's like some weird random snapshot in my brain of like a little tiny critter on the edge of the rock, and we're like, you're gonna die if you fall.
Be real careful out there.
Yeah.
Alvin.
Okay, so they're like, that's weird. There's no evidence of chipmunks.
Also, I get my other chipmunk knowledge from Chippendale.
Oh, see, I never watched Chippendale.
Oh, that was a great show.
Which one has the red nose? Chip or Dale?
Dale.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
You passed.
Thank you. That was my childhood knowledge. Had to dig into it. So the big dumb one.
Dale. Oh, God. Okay. Now, I don't even know that there's a dumb one. I never watched it. I
Chip was smarter. They weren't smart, but you know.
Just smarter.
Yeah.
Now, we have Jeff and Barry.
Okay.
as like possible suspects at this point, right?
Yeah.
And the police ask for an alibi from Jeff on the day that Suzanne went missing, and they discover that he was in fact in Michigan. So that checks out. It wasn't Jeff. He didn't fucking zoom over to Colorado real quick and take her.
Yeah.
When the police tell Barry about the affair, he claims to have known nothing about it. He was like shocked, like, oh shit, I had no idea. And he kept saying, like, we had no, I don't know if he kept saying, but he said to the police that they had no marital issues in the past. Like, or that maybe he had said, like, it was a little rocky, but that they had been doing really well.
Yeah.
But that's not the fucking case. Because her sister said 2 days before, she was like, he's so abusive, blah, blah, blah. So he's fucking lying about the marriage going well also.
Yeah.
Now, the police know, and they find out, and they discover that prior to Suzanne going missing, a couple days before, she had actually sent Barry a text message, and it said, quote, I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
So like, she's like, I'm out. I don't give a fuck if you're having an affair anymore. Just fucking let's divide our assets.
Let's do this shit. And this is days before she goes missing. And Barry's like, everything's great.
Oh my God.
That's fucking suspicious.
Does he not understand how phone records work? Like, I don't understand how people don't understand this.
I don't know. No, but it's because nobody fucking researches this shit as much as we do. So
Maybe
I don't think
that's
people
what it is.
think about all of this stuff. And then they're like, fuck.
Does he think that's still on there? You think I could just delete it? No, you can't. I mean, you can, but it won't fucking work.
So now we have a motive from
Yeah.
Barry, right? Like Barry who heard that Suzanne was leaving and he lost it and he took advantage of the fact that his daughters would be away camping and he killed Suzanne.
Yeah.
Investigators speculate that at 2:47 p.m. May 9th, when he returned home, maybe he caught Suzanne in the act of like WhatsApp.
Oh, WhatsApping?
Mm-hmm. Or talking to Jeff or whatever. Or maybe he had already planned this. Either way, this was the day. And he attacked Suzanne and chased her around the house. And that's why that activity was like that. And then his phone goes into airplane mode right after that. And then it doesn't come back on until 10:17 p.m., which is pretty suspicious. And he said he was in bed by 8 that night. But his phone comes back on at 10:17 p.m.
So that doesn't make any sense.
No. And they speculate that he spent all of that time getting rid of evidence and cleaning up and staging the scene and everything.
Oh my God.
Since his phone was off, we don't have any real data to show like where he was during that time. So detectives used the data stored on his vehicle, like they call it vehicle forensics, to see like what was his truck doing at this time. The data showed that at 9:30 p.m. on May 9th, so the night before, when allegedly he was in bed, the truck backed into, like it was put into reverse and it backed in closer to the home, 96 feet. And so investigators think that is when he could have loaded her body into the truck.
Yeah.
If that's what he did, if he murdered her.
Mm-hmm.
He told police that he set his alarm for 4:30 on Mother's Day and left the house by 5 a.m. to go to a site that was 150 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
But the truck's computers show that someone was opening and closing the truck's door at 3:30 a.m. So way earlier when he should have been asleep.
Yeah.
The theory is that he actually had left earlier than he stated, and there was a 4-hour window between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. where the car had no activity recorded. And so there are some reasons why there could be no activity. One being that the data on cars isn't meant to always, like, it doesn't store forever, so it could have been wiped out.
Yeah.
And I guess it doesn't always record or some shit like that. So that block in time isn't that shocking to not have.
Yeah.
It just means you don't know what happened then. Like, I guess it could have been overwritten or something. But we did discover that as Barry was leaving his house, instead of taking a right to get out and go wherever the fuck he normally went, he took a left, which was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And also a left would take you to where that helmet was on the side of the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have chucked it out the road as he was driving. So we have enough information there to know he went a different way than he normally would have went. He left earlier than he claimed to have gone.
How did he get the bike there?
Also lines up, I don't know, great question. At 8:10 a.m. on Mother's Day, the truck began to re-record data, and it shows that he stopped at a bus stop along the way. So I'm guessing maybe that 4 to 8 a.m. he could have been chucking shit, and he got fucking lucky that his car didn't record all
Yeah,
that.
no kidding.
Right? 8:10 a.m. on Mother's Day, the truck begins to re-record. It shows him stopping at a bus stop along the way. and he's throwing something in the garbage can at the bus stop.
How do you know?
Because he's caught on CCTV. Because he does this more. He does it. He goes to 5 separate locations. He goes to a hotel. He goes to a McDonald's. Just like he's got all these fucking dumpsters scoped out. And in each one, he's chucking something in. And you could tell it's Barry. But you can't tell what he's throwing away.
Mm-hmm.
Suspicious. And mind you, this is months later. So like we can't go through that fucking garbage anymore.
Yeah. That's gone. That evidence is gone.
Right. The police ask him, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, don't worry, I can explain. I'm a landscaper. I have a lot of trash all the time. I don't want to pay for a dump run, so this is normal activity for me to go around throwing trash out. And they're like, okay, cool. Except for 5 different dumpsters?
Yeah, like, why not just the one?
Yeah, and it's not like he was loading them up with so much stuff.
Yeah.
So, kind of weird. Pretty suspicious. Especially on the day your wife goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do that shit on the day your wife goes missing. Granted, I guess he didn't know at that time that she was missing, allegedly. So he checks into his room at the Holiday Inn, which I guess he stayed at this Holiday Inn whenever he'd go to this site because it's 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And I also know that in their marriage, one of the things that Suzanne had, I don't know about complained about or mentioned, but that he would be gone often. And she didn't even care if he was gone anymore. She kind of liked it when he was gone.
Yeah.
So he's staying at this Holiday Inn 3 hours away, and he goes into his room at 12:42 p.m. and then he comes out at 6:03 p.m. We can see it on the footage.
Mm-hmm.
So he dumps everything, goes to this Holiday Inn, stays for a couple hours, 6 hours, whatever, and then he comes back out. And this is the day that Suzanne is actively missing. And it was then that he had talked to the girls saying like, hey, do you know where she is? What's going on? Whatever. Talks to the neighbor, right? Finds out that she's missing, has the neighbor call 911, and he doesn't go home immediately. But instead what he does is he goes to some other place and drops off a bunch of tools to his coworkers. And one of those tools was a shovel. And he's on like CCTV doing this, right? Security footage, dropping this shit off. And it's really weird because he was just alarmed enough to have 911 be called.
Yeah.
But he had
not
enough
to rush
time.
home.
Yeah, but he had enough time to go drop this shit off. Bunch of tools.
Also, well, I guess it'd be pretty suspicious to roll up with a shovel in your truck when you don't normally carry one or something.
I guess, but like, I wouldn't be thinking of that. I'd be like...
No.
Yeah.
If you didn't do anything wrong, you wouldn't be thinking of that.
Right. Yeah, like, so this guy's up to something.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
Before he leaves also, he tells one of his coworkers, like, hey, take my room. I don't know if they were sharing rooms or some shit, but he's like, hey, take my room, use my room for the night. And the coworker claims that when he got into the room, it smelled suspiciously very strong like bleach. As if somebody were cleaning up a crime scene. Now, on the way home, Barry speaks to the sheriff, who confirms that they had found Suzanne's bike. And he gets to the ravine, and that's when he's, like, all in sorts, right? He's pretty worked up. One of Suzanne's friends comes forward with some messages that Suzanne had also sent her before she went missing about how Barry won't speak about divorce, even though she wants one, and that she didn't feel safe to be alone with Barry.
Oh my God.
So Barry's not looking good.
No.
This looks like some trouble for Barry.
Yeah. Wouldn't speak of divorce? Well, fucking, bro, that's not your choice.
Honestly, you don't get
like, it's part your choice, but it's not.
But, like, if I want one, it's like we all get one.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, it's not like
it doesn't have to be a unanimous decision.
Yeah, like one of our votes is heavier than the other. The no vote, whoever has that.
Yeah, whoever doesn't want to be there has every right to fucking leave.
Exactly. Okay, so now Barry is suspect number 1.
Yeah.
Obviously. And one of the items found in the family's home during all of this that I don't think really made sense back then, but now they're starting to piece it all together, was a plastic cap to a syringe. And it was found in the dryer. Like, there were clothes in the dryer, and it was found when they searched the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this cap to a syringe, allegedly, could have or would have, I don't know how they know this, been used to fill a tranquilizer dart that, like, you shoot animals with.
Okay.
And the theory is that at some point on the 9th, Barry snapped, and he used a tranquilizer dart to shoot Suzanne.
Jesus Christ.
And it takes a couple minutes for those to work. And so he was chasing her around the house, waiting for her to, like, get sedated.
Oh
she was
my
trying to run
God.
away. So that's the theory, okay?
How fucking scary.
Allegedly, actually not even allegedly, he admitted to this. He would use this dart, this tranquilizer dart. He admitted to using them all the time. He said that he would illegally sedate deer to remove their antlers, and then he would sell the antlers, and his garage was filled with antlers. So, like, he was like, yeah, I totally do that. That's normal. I use tranquilizer darts. But what's interesting is the dart gun was nowhere on the property. They never find the dart gun, even though he admits to using it.
To using it, having it.
Yeah.
All of that.
Also, the amount of tranquilizer that it takes to, like, take down a deer or whatever could be lethal to a human, especially a tiny little girl.
I would fucking think.
Not a tiny little girl, sorry to say that. But you know what I mean? Like a tiny...
Yeah, to a smaller woman.
Very fit woman. Yeah.
And a deer, it's like fucking 250 pounds.
Isn't that crazy? Oh, my God.
I don't actually know how much deer weigh.
I don't actually either, but I was very impressed that you said 250 pounds. Like, God damn, that's a lot of meat.
It's a lot of meat. I mean, that's not all meat, but that's a lot.
Blood.
That's a lot of thing. It's got to be more than that. They've got to weigh like 300 pounds.
I don't even fucking know. I have no idea how much a deer weighs.
They're going to be like, deer are 185.
Yeah, like she could have easily weighed that. What's also interesting is Barry had actually had scratches on his left arm.
Oh my fucking God.
Right? So, like, that could have been a struggle. Just some circumstantial evidence here, right? Like, we obviously don't know this for a fact.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of panning out that, like, that could really be a possibility. And why is the gun missing? You know, if you're not trying to get rid of it.
So in one of those dumpsters.
Mm-hmm. So the police put all this together, and they get a warrant for his arrest a year after her disappearance.
Oh, my God.
Suzanne's body has never been found. But he was charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and a bunch of other bullshit that I didn't name off.
Those poor kids.
Honestly, it's just wait. He pleaded not guilty, and he hired some high-profile lawyers because homie has money.
Oh, no.
And they argued that there was no DNA on the syringe cap, and no one can say how long it was in the dryer. Also, the chlorine smell in his room for the hotel room was pretty normal because I guess the room was right above an indoor pool. Okay. Which, to be honest, I have stayed at a hotel with an indoor pool. That shit is strong.
Yeah, it smells awful.
But also, I feel like the employee would know that, like, know the difference between, like, bleach in your room, like, in your sink, versus, like, in pool bleach in the atmosphere. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I use a lot of bleach. Like, anybody coming to my house would be like, did you just clean up a murder scene? In fact, one of our friends did come over when I lived in an apartment with Lee, and they were like, did you just clean a body? Like, why does it smell like bleach? And I'm like, that's just how I clean.
Is that not normal? It smells clean in here.
Yeah, it's me. I like it. But anyway. Okay, so they're saying, like, you know, it's very normal that his room smelled like chlorine. When they swabbed Suzanne's car, they found male DNA on the glove box that didn't match Jeff or Barry.
What?
So there's random male DNA, and I guess it came back a partial match for somebody who had been, like, attacking women in Arizona and Chicago.
What?
So now the defense is saying there's a possibility it could have been somebody else.
Yeah, you can't prove, like, without a reasonable doubt.
There's not a body. This is all circumstantial evidence that you have, but I have circumstantial evidence to show that he didn't do it. It could have been somebody else, yeah. On September 20th, 2001, his daughters came and bailed him out of jail.
What the fuck?
They stand behind him 100% and do not believe that he harmed her in any way, shape, or form. He had to go out with it like in an ankle bracelet, right? And he's awaiting trial. But while waiting for trial, there was a change in judges, and the defense filed some sort of notion or claim or whatever saying that, like, the prosecution kept missing deadlines, like wasn't doing their job properly, so that they shouldn't be allowed to admit all of this evidence that they basically missed the deadlines for. It shouldn't be admissible. And the judge looked at it, and the judge was like, wow, the prosecution is being very reckless. They're not doing their job right at all. And he dismissed 14 of the witnesses, the cell phone data, the car data, like everything that made the case the case.
Oh, my God.
He said, you can't bring it to court.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my fucking God. So the DA decided to drop the charges against Barry because without those put in evidence, they really don't have a case. There's no body or anything. Isn't that fucking crazy?
What? So he's a free man?
But the DA did say, like, oh, we could open it at a different time. And the prosecution states that they're close to discovering her body, which I don't know how the fuck they know that.
Yeah.
But they're waiting for snow to melt or some shit so, like, they can excavate the ground near the property. I don't know if maybe they had a fucking clue or if they're like, looks like his truck went over here. We want to investigate that, but we can't until the fucking snow melts.
Yeah.
And her body has still never been found. And in May of 2023, Barry filed a $15 million federal lawsuit for being wrongfully jailed and arrested.
Fuck you, bro.
Wow.
What?
Wow. So do you think it was a random serial killer, or do you think it was this guy who has so much circumstantial evidence against him?
Yeah, it's probably that guy. It's probably
The
the
angry guy
husband.
that she was afraid of?
It's probably the angry husband that she was afraid to be alone with, who she was asking for a divorce, who would not speak of divorce.
Oh my God, it's so sad because her sister was interviewed or whatever. I don't know if it was like publicly or in a court hearing or whatever, but they played it in the episode. And her sister was like talking to the kids and was like, your mom would lay her life down for you. Like, I don't think she was trying to guilt them, but more like wake them up. Like,
yeah.
Your dad's not. That's a hard pill though, man. And it showed like the fucking daughters walking out with the dad and they're so happy. And I'm sure, because, you know, dad's whatever, like if he's that kind of man, I'm sure he wouldn't hurt a hair on his daughter's body or whatever. You know, there's people like that. But like, what a fucking piece of shit, man. I guess I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty sure he killed his wife.
That's insane.
Don't you think?
I for sure think he did.
And like DNA on a glove box, sure. Like I don't fucking know. I get my shit serviced.
Boyfriends.
It could have been a boyfriend. It could have been.
Detailed.
It could have been detailed. Like there's probably male DNA all over my shit. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention. I'm not wiping it down.
That's
and for it to be
insane.
a partial match to a profile, that just means maybe somebody was related, right?
Yeah.
But was it a full match or was it like not enough DNA? I don't fucking know.
Was his DNA also in the car? Because it would have been. He fucking probably got his DNA on her, and his DNA would have been in the car.
I know.
Like, why
I don't know.
Why
but
does
that DNA didn't match them, so I bet Jeff is like,
yeah, no kidding. Jeff dodged that bullet.
Oh my God.
Now everybody knows that he's been sneaking and geeking.
Right? His wife too. I'm
Yeah.
sure that was a conversation. His 6 fucking kids.
Yeah. I kind of understand the kids sticking with the one parent that they have left.
That's kind of me too. Yeah. Like, and then also thinking like as a daddy's girl, if my dad did that and I was still behind him so much, that makes me think that their relationship is so tight that like he probably wouldn't harm them.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure, obviously, but
I mean, hopefully.
But that's kind of different when it's your kid versus like your wife that you're obviously not getting along with.
Yeah, well, and also you know and recognize that your kids are going to leave you one day. Your wife, you assume, is going to be with you forever. Like,
who does that? Who is like, you can't?
I will not speak of it.
Right?
Like, okay, well, that's not an option.
Oh my God, and how awkward. This guy made a plea. Like a public plea. It's on, you can watch it.
Oh my God. I feel like this guy has no neck. Does he have a neck?
You know, I feel like maybe if he does, it's kind of a small one. I don't really remember. But yeah, he's kind of like a...
Yeah.
Like that guy could take some people out. I'd be afraid of him in a bar fight for
Like, he looks like
sure.
Vin Diesel, but with, like, a buzz cut.
Oh, he has, like, kind of the dad haircut. Like, he's got more hair, and it's kind of, like, whitish or blondish. Like, think all-American man, but grown up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of like you would not want to get in a bar fight.
I think of, like, a potato in a T-shirt.
He wasn't, like, fat.
No,
like,
not
bigger,
like fat,
yeah.
but just, like, a bulky guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
Like, if he walked
guy.
in cowboy boots into a saloon with a cowboy hat, you'd all stop and be like, we don't want no trouble.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, wasn't that fucking crazy?
That is crazy.
Can I tell you a secret? I had no idea what the story was when I started it. I was like, I just need a fucking case now. And every time I was like, Jesus Christ, I picked a doozy on accident. I feel like that's every 48 Hours episode. Though,
Yeah, right?
So we love it.
You're like, whoa, twist.
Twist. So if you want to go watch the episode, do that. You'll probably get way more information. But if you want to check out pictures pertaining to my case, go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. Our handle is at ISGD Podcast.
We're on another one, too.
Threads.
Yeah, but I don't remember the other
Something
one.
else. Breads. We don't really know.
I don't remember.
We'll have to talk to Critty about that.
Yeah.
She told us. We should just go
Give
through
us a
messages. Also, if you want to email us, you could do that at isgdpodcast@gmail.com. You guys should subscribe, rate, and review. And if you want to support your favorite podcast,
You girls.
you could do that at Patreon. We have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon.
For as little as $1 extra a month.
$1, Bob.
You can get access to all of our back Patreon episodes, which is like at 56.
At least, yeah. If you want to snail mail us, you can do so at P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
Good job. Okay, now bye.
Bye.